Hello and welcome to another weekly video from Career Codex. My name's Simon Gray and the weekly video is where I provide help and advice on how to stand out in the executive job market, to be the one who gets hired. Now, discipline is not something I've always had, but something I've been working hard to build, develop and grow. It can be a daily battle, as I'm sure it is for many, but recently I've really come to appreciate the importance of discipline in life, in the achievement of goals, and also when it comes to successful executive job search. The dictionary defines discipline as training that makes people more able to control themselves. But for me and the clients I work with on a one-to-one basis, it's so much more than that. Discipline is actually freedom. Many view discipline as restrictive, a burden, something they don't want too much of in their lives. After all, isn't flexibility far more fun? As soon as we commit to something and build discipline to meet our obligation, surely we're far more restricted, and the weight of this self-imposed discipline can sometimes weigh heavy on our lives. But for me, this is the dichotomy of discipline, because in actual fact, if used properly, discipline removes any restriction or burden and is something that you'll want to move toward instead of battle against. To illustrate this point, let me share a quick story with you. I set myself a number of challenges at the start of this year, one of which was to begin my week with exercise. Come rain or shine, 30 lengths in the swimming pool was the goal I set. And of course in the summer, it's much easier, but when it's cold, wet and foggy as it was this morning, getting out of bed, getting dressed, driving to the health club and diving in can prove somewhat of a challenge. After 3 weeks of successful completion, week 4 arrived today, and I must admit I struggled. I'm sure we've all been there. In the hours leading up to 6 a.m, the time my alarm was set for, I was in and out of sleep, anticipating when and debating if I should actually bother going this morning. Excuses played out in my head on repeat. It's cold this morning, I'll go later in the week. If I don't go today, I can start work earlier and get more done. I'm tired, I need the rest. The energy I was actually burning to come up with these excuses is energy far better spent in the pool. The excuses were thankfully kicked back into touch with a mantra I use regularly when my self-talk gets in the way. I can, I will, I want to. So I got up, dressed and drove to the pool, honoured the promise I made at the start of the year, and am now in my office recording this video. Freedom was not found in my ability to circumvent my own plans. On the contrary, instead of freedom, all I found was torment in the form of excuses on a tour of duty in my head. Flexibility is not freedom. Last year I knew I needed to go to the gym each week, but wasn't specific about when and how many times. And because I didn't have a clear plan on when and how, I found I tortured myself throughout the week. Freedom is actually found in discipline. When we know what we have to do and when we have to do it, if we maintain our discipline to get the job done, outside of these times we can relax, switch off and go do something else. If I'd broken my discipline this morning, how would I be feeling right now? Well, I'd probably have beaten myself up for the rest of the day, been in a disempowered state of mind, and what's more, made it all the more easier to break my discipline again the following week. Not a good place to be in. Having completed the task at hand, my mind is now free to dedicate to the productive work of building and growing my business. So what does all of this have to do with executive job search? Well, first off, discipline is essential to finding success in the executive job market. Many of my one-to-one coaching clients, when I first start work with them, are working far too hard and also doing the wrong things to open the doors to the executive position they really want. Surfing executive job boards 24/7 is not discipline, it's disastrous and something that in a very short space of time will leave even the most resilient of executives in a potentially very bad place. I describe this activity, along with waiting for the phone to ring from executive search firms, as reactive chaos. Here you're not in control, someone else is, and your ability to direct your own destiny is limited. Successful executive job search means doing things different to the majority. Taking proactive control of your executive job search means understanding how the executive job market really works, your own psychology, and your destination of travel. On the latter point, until you know where you're headed, which is a clear and concise description of the executive position you want, the chances of finding it are just that, a game of chance. In the executive job market, rejection is inevitable. There will be ups and downs. Discipline governs your ability to keep going even when things don't appear to be going your way. You also need to know when you're active in the executive job market and when you're not, for your own sanity and for the sanity of those around you. This is another example of discipline. Furthermore, when you're active, discipline is about executing your strategy and undertaking the activity that others are not prepared to take. Of course, this activity at the outset may seem more difficult, but a step out of your existing comfort zone always is. What matters is that it yields a higher probability of finding success and finding it soon. While you have the prize in mind, the executive position you really want, success comes from focusing on the process, not the prize. Because focusing on the process exists in the moment and is about relentless execution. My Executive Edge program, which is in part based on my book Super Secrets of Successful Executive Job Search, provides the right education to stand out in the executive job market and a step-by-step system for success. This is the theory, but as we all know, theory without practical application is a road that leads nowhere. Knowledge must be applied to generate real value, which is where the real challenge lies and where discipline always provides the solution. I'll be talking more about this topic and also how to survive and thrive in the executive job market in a special online event I'm running very soon. If you head over to my website, careercodex.com, you'll see a yellow post-it note where you can register for this event there. That's pretty much it for this week. So until next time, take care and I'll talk to you soon.